I spent so many nights sleeping on me, but I finally realized I'm all that I need. I'm that girl, been that chick.
Hey y'all, happy Vlogmas. This is day one and I am doing a half up, half down on my girl T. Say hey T, and y'all say hey to T. She just moved here from Charlotte, so I'm doing her a half up, half down with absolutely no hair left out for her to slay these interviews. So as you can see, I'm parting the hair. We're going to do from the tip of the ear on the left side and bring it over to the right side, and we're going to pin that up. Now, being a licensed cosmetologist or a cosmetologist in general, I highly recommend that you put a cape on your clients and make sure you disinfect it after each client. Now, I'm parting the hair down to start my first braid, and when you braid, you want to bring the hair towards the middle so that way when you lay, the tracks is laying flat instead of laying on top of a braid. And then to connect it, you just bring the braid up and add it to the next braid. Now, if you're not an experienced braider, that's perfectly fine. Just braid them all and flip them up, and always oil your client's scalp. Now, as you can see, I'm adding a black cap and I pull it all the way to the front just to ensure that I can clearly see and to make sure that none of her hair is out. When I do cut ear tabs, notice it's not hurt. Now, this is the key to a seamless install, not only for it to last long, but also make it easier for your clients to take it out. And we are doing a glue protecting. You want to protect your client's hair at all times because, I mean, what's the point of a protective hairstyle if we're not taking protective measures? Now, after we do that, make sure it's lathered all the way. We're going to go ahead and sit her underneath the dryer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I am using Yaki and this no-name good quality hair that I had left over from previous clients. I typically always have hair left over, so I just told her just to come straight to the appointment. Now, if you are not experienced with laying the glue on the track, please do not do this on your arm like I am, because you will get it on your clothes, and glue does not come out of clothes, honey. But you do not need a lot of glue. A little goes a long way. And as you can see, I'm doing a horse-shaped method, and you want to go ahead and blow dry it, and make sure you blow dry it all the way until it's completely clear. Now, you see as I zoomed in, I'm showing you that the horseshoe gets smaller and smaller as you continue to lay the tracks, and this is because we are doing no hair left out. So you want it to look as seamless as possible, to the point where now you're only laying about 3 to 4 tracks going straight across, and that's going to be covered up by the ponytail. So like I said, continue to do the horse shape method all the way till you work yourself up to the top. And once you do that, you want to make sure you comb everything very thoroughly. Make sure that there's no glue residue. Make sure all the kinks and knots are out. And we're just going to go ahead and then pull that black cap back. Now, this is a easy trick to do when you're doing a half up, half down. Just making sure that you're focusing on the leave out and not worried about any of the hair in the back. Now, you want to make sure that you're properly and thoroughly hot combing and pressing the hair out. However, you do not need to add a lot of heat to your client's hair. A lot of people run through the flat irons on the hair 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and you do not need to do that. One press with the hot comb at the root and one press with the hair going straight down with the flat iron. Now, we're going to do this all the way, and we're going to take small pieces. This is the key to ensuring that your hair is sleek and neat as possible. Very small pieces, very mindful, very demure. But then we're going to go ahead and go along with the edges and the hairline, because we want the head edges to be as sleek as possible. Then we're going to go ahead and curve out her natural baby hairs. Now, if your client or yourself does not have natural baby hairs, you can always create them. It is not that hard or difficult. And if they have longer baby hairs, you do not have to cut them. You can just see what works best for them, and always make sure that you line up each side of the baby hairs. What you do to one side, make sure you do it to the other side. They are twins, not sisters. Now, these are the products that I'm going to be using to sleek the hair back. This does not hurt your client, but T just hates the cold. Now, as you can see, I spray a little at the root, and then I'm combing it straight back, applying pressure, and then I am using a edge brush, but these are like the bigger size edge brushes, and then I'm just going in with the blow dryer. Make sure you're pressing hard against your client's head, but not too hard, obviously. So one of the main keys and tricks and tips that I use is when I'm doing the pressing mode for my client's hair, or for their ponytail in general, rather it's an up, down, or a ponytail, I tell them to press back against me. That way, when I'm pressing towards their head to do the molding, their head is not leaning to the side or going down or being really wobbly is still, and I'm able to get the sleekest results possible. Now, as you can see, I'm bringing the hair over the black cap. Now, this was the major key because as you can see, we're doing a low ponytail. Now, if you were doing a high ponytail, it will be a little bit higher, but since we're doing a low ponytail, it's perfectly fine to go over the black cap because we're going to cut it, and also you're not going to be able to see it anyway, so it's a win-win. After you mold their hair into a ponytail, now we're just going to go ahead and braid it down, but make sure you just get any other lumps and bumps before we do the final braid down, because after we do that, it's time to move on to the next step. So by this point, you're going to get kind of like a smaller piece attachment just to smooth out any flyaways and get everything how it needs to look. Now you're going to braid the hair down, and I always flip the hair up just because it doesn't really need to be that long since we're going to cut it into a blunt cut eventually later on in this video. Now we are protecting the hair. Once again, we are using a wax strip or a neck strip, whatever you would like to call it, and you only need a little bit of glue. As I said, a little goes a long way. Now, the same way that you wrap the wax strip, that's the same way you need to apply the tracks, because listen, if you wrap the wax strip counterclockwise and then you try to apply the tracks clockwise, it will ultimately unravel. So you want to go everything in a seamless motion. Now, as you can see, I just applied the glue straight up, and that's just because I don't really like applying glue on the tracks all the way around. It makes it very messy, and this just allows for me to go a little bit quicker, and it's just time efficient for me. Now, after we finish wrapping it all the way to the top, we're going to make sure that we secure with the blow dryer, and we're going to pull a small piece from underneath the ponytail. So you're going to pull a small piece, and this piece is what you're going to be using as your wrap. Now, mind you, it does not have to be a very large piece, because as you continue to wrap, that is how you create a more full looking and yet sleek wraparound. As you can see, that little piece went a long way when I was doing the wrap, and now you're just going to wrap and pull and make sure that it's as seamless as possible. I am adding a little bit of glue on the inside. Again, a little goes a long way, along with spraying hairspray. And I do use a shape and hold hairspray before I flat iron the hair, and then I use the firm ponytail spray once I get done wrapping. So as you can see, I just finished wrapping it. Now I'm going to go in with the finishing spray, use the blow dryer attachment again, and make sure that we seal all the flyaways. And as you can see, the ponytail is flourishing. Now we're going to carefully cut the rest of the black cap. You're going to be able to use their hair as a guide to ensure that, one, you're not cutting their hair, and also, two, you're not cutting the hair in the back that we just installed. As you can see, it's very seamless and it's very sleek, and this is no hair left out. When I say protective style, baby, this is what I mean. Now, we decided to do a blunt cut. We were going to go with the bob, but we decided to go a little bit longer since this 10 and 12 inch was longer than what we expected. Now, when you're cutting a blunt cut, make sure your client's head is straight the entire time, and even get to eye level if you have to. Also, tilt their head down just a little bit. This is a cosmetology trick to ensure that no matter if they put their head down or if they turn it to the left or the right, that it is a blunt cut all the way across. Now, obviously, we're going to go ahead and take section by section and just flat iron it to finish it off. I did spray heat protectant just to ensure that I'm sealing in the texture. I'm not doing too much damage to the hair. And as you can see, it's already straight. So me going back in and re-straightening the hair is really just for styling purposes. But I'll always add heat protectant to weave, or if I'm doing a silk press or things like that. I didn't add it to the top of the hair just because I'm adding a lot of hairsprays and oils. Now, when I get to the very top where technically the leave out would be, I do add a little bit of my wax stick just to seal everything in, going in with the hot comb and then finishing off with the flat iron. Now, my favorite part, and that's going to bring the hairstyle all together, is the baby hairs. When I'm doing the sideburns, I'm curling down. When I'm doing the baby hairs, I curl up. That's just my little method, no matter if I'm doing natural hair or if I'm doing a frontal. I use a little bit of edge control, hairspray, and the blow dryer attachment on cool. Mind you, when you're molding the hair for the ponytail, the blow dryer needs to be on warm or hot. Now, after we've done this is bringing the style all together. And after I finished, I went in with some hair shine and some hairspray to top it off. And this is the final look. I hope y'all love this hairstyle. If you're a beginner hairstylist, or if you're just trying to learn how to do the style on yourself, it's very quick and easy. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you tried this hairstyle, if you gotten this hairstyle, and if this video helped you at all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of Vlogmas. Bye.